Have you ever had a moment where someone disappointed you, and instead of being surprised, you thought, honestly, I should have seen that coming? Most people don't wake up one day and suddenly realize someone doesn't care about them. The truth reveals itself slowly, in small moments, missed opportunities, broken promises, conversations that leave you feeling empty. The problem is that we often ignore the signs because we want the relationship to be real. We want to believe the friendship matters. We want to believe the effort we're giving is being returned, but sometimes it isn't. And the longer you ignore the truth, the more time you spend investing in people who would never invest the same energy into you. Today, we're going to talk about 4 signs that someone may not care about you as much as you care about them. Some of these signs are subtle. Some might hit a little too close to home, but recognizing them can save you years of frustration, disappointment, and emotional exhaustion. Let's begin. Number 1, they only reach out when they need something. Think about the last few conversations you've had with this person. Who usually starts them? Who usually checks in first? Who usually makes the effort? If you stopped reaching out tomorrow, would the relationship continue, or would it quietly disappear? One of the clearest signs someone doesn't truly care about you is when the relationship only exists when it's useful to them. Maybe they call when they need advice. Maybe they text when they're bored. Maybe they need a favor, a ride, help with a problem, or someone to listen to them vent. But when you're the one who needs support, they're nowhere to be found. Relationships are supposed to go both ways. Nobody is perfect. Nobody can be available all the time. But over time, there should be balance. There should be effort from both sides. When one person is constantly giving and the other person is constantly taking, that isn't connection. It's convenience. And convenience often disappears the moment it becomes inconvenient. Pay attention to who remembers you when they don't need anything. Those are usually the people who actually care. Number 2, they never take responsibility when they hurt you. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone says the wrong thing sometimes. Everyone has moments they're not proud of. The difference is what happens afterward. When a person genuinely cares about you, your pain matters to them. If they hurt you, they want to fix it. They want to understand what happened. They don't want resentment growing between you. But some people do the exact opposite. They avoid the conversation. They change the subject. They act like nothing happened. Or somehow they find a way to make themselves the victim. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, they say things like, you're too sensitive. You're overthinking it. That's not what I meant. Notice what happens there. The focus immediately shifts away from their behavior and onto your reaction. And suddenly you're defending your feelings instead of addressing what actually happened. A person who cares about you may not always agree with your perspective, but they will care enough to listen. They will care enough to acknowledge your experience, because protecting their ego isn't more important than protecting the relationship. Number 3, they show very little interest in your life. This sign often goes unnoticed because it doesn't feel dramatic. There's no argument, no betrayal, no major event, just silence. You tell them about something important, a goal you're working toward, a challenge you're facing, something exciting that happened, and the response feels empty. Maybe it's a quick, nice. Maybe it's a short nod. Maybe they immediately turn the conversation back to themselves. Weeks go by and they never ask about it again. Meanwhile, you remember details about their life. You remember their problems, their plans, their worries, their successes. Because when you care about someone, you naturally pay attention. You remember things that matter to them. You ask follow-up questions. You stay curious, not because you're trying to impress them, because you're genuinely interested. When someone consistently shows little interest in your life, your growth, your struggles, and your achievements, they're telling you something without using words. They're showing you where you rank on their list of priorities. And actions are usually more honest than promises. Number 4, you feel alone when you're with them. This might be the most painful sign of all. Because from the outside, everything looks normal. You're spending time together. You're talking. You're sharing space. Maybe you've known each other for years, but something feels missing. The connection isn't there anymore. You leave conversations feeling drained instead of understood. You feel unseen, unheard, unimportant. And no matter how much effort you make, the distance remains. A lot of people assume loneliness only happens when you're by yourself. But some of the deepest loneliness comes from being around someone who no longer connects with you emotionally. They're physically present, but mentally and emotionally, they're somewhere else. You find yourself trying harder, starting more conversations, making more plans, putting in more effort, hoping things will go back to how they used to be. But relationships cannot survive on one person's effort forever. Real connection requires two people choosing each other repeatedly, not once, not occasionally, consistently. And if you're constantly fighting for someone's attention, care, and interest, you have to ask yourself an uncomfortable question. Why are you working so hard for something that should be mutual? Now here's the important part. This video isn't about becoming bitter. It's not about cutting everyone out of your life. And it's definitely not about assuming the worst in people. It's about paying attention. Because once you see these patterns, you can stop making excuses for them. You can stop chasing people who aren't chasing you. You can stop investing energy into relationships that leave you feeling empty. And most importantly, you can start making room for people who genuinely value your presence. The people who check on you without being asked. The people who listen when you speak. The people who celebrate your wins and support you during your struggles. The people who make you feel appreciated instead of tolerated. Those people exist, but you'll never have enough room for them if you're holding on to relationships that constantly take more than they give. Before you go, think about one person this video reminded you of. Not to judge them, not to attack them, just to see the situation clearly. Sometimes clarity is the first step toward protecting your peace, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Mind Theory for more insights into psychology, human behavior, and personal growth. And let me ask you one question. Which of these 4 signs do you think is the hardest to accept? Let me know in the comments.